Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the Best Buy exclusive 4K Steelbook edition of the Indiana Jones collection. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, the Indiana Jones collection is here on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray released by Paramount Pictures. It comes in two separate editions, a standard edition as well as a Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. Now, as far as the films themselves go, what can I say? These are iconic in my opinion. I would say next to Star Wars, it has such a profound effect on me as a movie watcher. It sparked all that creativity and it is so good. All these movies are really great in their own way. Crystal Skull, okay, we can talk about that, but the first three movies, epic. They're absolutely epic, masterfully directed by Steven Spielberg, starring Harrison Ford as the iconic Indiana Jones. I mean, for a lot of people, he is Han Solo, but for me, I always gravitated towards Indiana Jones. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the Star Wars films. And for me, this is iconic status for me. It's just absolutely some of my favorite films. Adventure, action, humor. These movies have it all, in my opinion. I really, growing up, my father was always a big Raiders of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom fan. We had those two movies like on constant rotation. And I also really love Last Crusade. I know it gets a little bit of mixed reviews here and there, but I love all three of these movies. I go back to them quite often. At least once a year, I revisit the entire series. I'm so happy these were on 4K now. Like, this is on my most wanted list. I'm just very happy overall that we have them. So, all right, we're gonna do a quick unboxing of the Steelbook edition, and then we're gonna come back and talk about the picture quality and the audio. Okay, we have the Best Buy exclusive Indiana Jones collection box set here. Unfortunately, it does not have a metal casing as some of the earlier releases from other studios, of course, like Warner Brothers releasing The Lord of the Rings and Marvel and the Avengers. I would have liked a metal case. It's kind of just cardboard. I think down the line when the fifth movie comes out, I'm just going to use the Steelbooks and just get rid of the case altogether. But right now, I'll just keep it there. But yeah, a nice image on the front. And then we have the spine, and then the back. First up, we have Raiders of the Lost Ark. Actually, these Steelbooks look really nice. Don't let the outer case deter you away. They have really nice quality to them. And then we have the spine, and then the back with the Ark, and interior. Some nice artwork inside. And we have Temple of Doom here. Also really nice artwork. And the back. And the spine. Some artwork there. Yeah, I like the interiors of these a lot. They look really good. And Last Crusade. And then we got the back with the Grail. And the spine. Artwork there. I think Paramount did a really good job on these Steelbooks. They look great. And finally, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull here, the last Steelbook. And then the back, and then the spine. And interior. So, overall, a really nice presentation with the Steelbooks. I'd recommend them. Like I said, you could display them with the case, without them. But, all right, now we're going to talk about the picture quality and the audio. All four films of the Indiana Jones collection on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray have a 239:1 aspect ratio, native 4K, and HDR10 and Dolby Vision for the grading. For purposes of this review, I will be talking about the Dolby Vision encode. Now for the general look of the film, it has a nice fine layer of grain. I did not find it heavy in any of the films, and it's consistent and it actually looks very organic. All 4 films were remastered for this 4K presentation. There were some color timing adjustments, so all the movies have a uniform look to them, and there was some also cleanup on some matte lines and special effects. There was a little bit of softness in the first 3 movies of the series that creeps in from time to time, but it's nothing that's really going to pull you out. Overall, the films look spectacular. As for the Dolby Vision, there is a lot here at play. Color, I think, looks spectacular here all around. Now, while Raiders of the Lost Ark is a little bit more subtle in that department, when Indy goes to Cairo, it really stands out, and there are other moments sprinkled throughout the film that make great use of it. As for Temple of Doom, there's a lot more vibrancy. From the opening scene at Club Obi-Wan, you got that nice, dance number, and those reds really shine, and the sequence dresses really have a good look to them, to the daytime scenes in India, to the temple. I always felt the Blu Ray looked a little bit blown out with contrast with that red fiery pit. Here, it looks natural, it looks just like really appropriate, and it adds an extra layer of atmosphere. Last Crusade also looks good. Landscapes particularly stand out well. Those skies are blue. They look really good. The desert scenery also stands out with color. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull looks great in the jungle setting. Those green lushness really stand out. And there are other moments sprinkled throughout the film that make great use of color. All 4 films also really benefit from that extra level of shadow detail. Black levels are spot on. I would say Temple of Doom really is the biggest beneficiary. It's nice and shadowy. There's a lot going on there. Black levels are near perfect, but Raiders also looks fantastic. When you're inside those tombs and the looking for the Ark and those nighttime scenes, they really stand out and they look particularly well done. Last Crusade also really stands out very well. There's several moments where it makes great use of shadow detail. And last but not least, the black levels in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull also look particularly good. Since the film was newer, it has a little bit more deep inkiness to them, but it really just overall has a nice look to it. Detail is nicely enhanced here in all 4 of these movies. Raiders, Temple of Doom, the oldest films in the set, look great. When Indy's up close, you get that nice layer of skin texture, the sweat, the dirt, it all comes on display. Last Crusade is no exception. You get that extra benefit there, and there's a lot going on with the uniforms and clothing. They look great. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, once again, clothing, skin textures, the landscape, the foliage, they all stand out very well. Detail looks spectacular in this 4K set. Indiana Jones really just shines here in picture quality. The Indiana Jones collection on 4K Ultra HD Blu Ray has a Dolby Atmos audio presentation. This is exactly what a remastered Dolby Atmos soundtrack should really sound like. It has a spectacular sound field all around all 4 movies. They really have a good energy to them. And let's not forget, the John Williams score is pretty much a character in of itself. It prioritizes the soundtrack when it needs to, but it doesn't drown out what's happening on screen. When you get those musical cues, it fills the room very well. All 4 movies have their moments to shine, of course, but they're consistently really a good listening experience. From the Marion's Bar, you get that ricochet of gunfire in Raiders of the Lost Ark, and the truck chase towards the climax of the film. You get a lot of good thump there. And of course, let's not forget the ending scene with the Ark. That whole surround sound environment is used very well. For Temple of Doom, the opening sequence at the club is a good indicator of what you're getting for the rest of the movie in the audio department. You get the musical number, the gunfire when Indy's trying to escape, and just the overall plane crash sequence sounds great. But for me personally, it's the mine car sequence at the end of the film that particularly stands out well. The surround sound field is active, it's very heavy, and it just pulls you into the overall experience. There's a lot going on with Last Crusade as well. This is a very full listening experience, from Indy and his father escaping from the Zeppelin in that plane to the tank chase at the end. It has a good feel to it. As for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, since it is the newest of the Indiana Jones movies, it sounds a little bit fuller in the audio department, but it still has all those staples of previous Indiana Jones films. So when Indy hits somebody, you get that familiar punch sound. It sounds really good. But there are key moments throughout the movie, such as when they're getting chased in the jungle and the monkeys are swinging by. It makes great use of the surround sound environment, and also the climax has a good energy to it. As for the speaker placements, the center channel prioritizes dialogue up front in all 4 films. It sounds great and precise. The front channels, they sound excellent. It's seamless from left to right and center. No issues to report in that area. The mid-level and rear speakers sound excellent. This is a great use of surround sound environment. There's a lot going on in all 4 films. It doesn't go to waste, from gunfire to general atmosphere, action moments, the music. It really has a good overall feel to it, and you are definitely going to be glad you have a surround sound setup. And while the height speakers are not consistently active throughout all 4 films, when they are utilized, you will absolutely know they are. From musical cues, action moments, there's a little bit of discrete channel activity. It's mostly complementary, but it has a good feel to it, and it's a good use of the Atmos heights. And the LFE channel is consistently good. It has a robust feel to it. It's not going to be overly aggressive. It's not mixed that way, but for the Indiana Jones films, you're definitely going to feel it in your seats. It's very appropriate. For the picture quality, I'm going to give the Indiana Jones collection on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray a solid A. These remastered discs look spectacular. The films have never looked better. Grain is consistent. The overall look of the film is spot on. It's a beautiful presentation for all 4 movies. You will absolutely be pleased with the results. For the audio presentation, I'm going to give this one an A+. The Dolby Atmos upgrade is great. These films have never sounded better. It's a great listening experience. All the speakers are utilized very well. It has a good feel to it. The movies with that iconic score really come to life. The audio presentation, in my opinion, is top-notch. So that is my review of the Indiana Jones collection on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. If you're interested in picking this up for yourself, I will go ahead and leave an Amazon link in the comments section. But if you have the collection already, I want to hear your thoughts down below. Let's talk about it. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.